Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vessel.
And I'm Joey Evans.
And a year ago, when I found out the existence of Battle of Hoth, the Star Wars version of an older game called Memoir 44, my excitement levels were incredibly high.
Yes.
I have been wanting a Star Wars game with Star Wars little plastic pieces for a long time. Now, there have been several of these games.
There have.
Star Wars Rebellion is a giant game where you're playing the whole Star Wars thing out. But I just wanted like a tactical game. And the Memoir 44 series, which is Memoir 44, Command and Colors, the Command Color series, is fantastic. So the combination, very excited. And it's out now.
Finally.
And it's based on one of the most epic battles in the Star Wars universe, the Battle of Hoth.
I agree.
So let's take a look a bit about how it plays, and we'll be back. In this game, you can play through a campaign, which will tell you which scenarios to pick from the book and in what order. Or you can just pick a scenario that you want to play. So let's say we pick target the shield generators. You're going to set the board up as it shows you here. It might show you one Imperial trooper here, but you would put 4 in that spot, while you put 3 Rebel troopers there. And it tells you how many to put in each spot. So you have the board set up. Each player has their own deck of cards. But when you take a deck of cards, you're going to pick a leader if you want to, which I always do. So here, let's say I'm playing with Darth Vader. Darth Vader comes with 3 cards that get shuffled into this deck. But I could, if I wanted to, pick General Veers and put his cards into the deck. Players are going to draw a certain number of cards on their turn based on whatever the scenario guidelines are. And the game plays back and forth very simply, where a player will just pick a card and play it. Now, most of the cards that you play are going to show one of the zones here. This says move and attack with 2 units in the center zone for the Imperials. So they might move these guys, and they might move this, the AT-AT. And you can then attack with them depending on their rules. So for example, troopers can move 1 or they can move 2. But if they move 2, they can't attack. While it doesn't matter if the AT-AT moves, it can always attack, and snow speeders can always move and attack. When you attack, you check to make sure you have line of sight, which is pretty simple. And then you'll roll a certain number of dice based on the unit. Now, there's a little chart for each of these. So troopers, when they shoot, if they're shooting the spot next to them, they roll 3 dice. 2 spots away, 2 dice, then 1 dice. The AT-AT always rolls 3 dice up to 3 spots away. The probe droid 2 and 1. And the snow speeders 4 and 2. And then the gun 4, 3, 2, 1. When you roll the dice, you're going to take the dice that you need to roll. You'll roll them. You are trying to roll what you're shooting at. So if I'm shooting at troops, this will, every time I roll this will take one of them out. If I'm shooting at vehicles, I need to roll this. This little bomb symbol hits anything. This makes a unit retreat, go back 1, and this is a big fat miss. There are some special rules. An AT-AT, when you hit it, you then have to re-roll the dice and get the bomb symbol. So they're very hard to hit, but if you do take them out, it's very satisfying. And in fact, in most scenarios, when you take out an enemy unit, the last one, let's say there's 3 of these, and I take out the final one, you put it here sort of as a trophy, a point, and each scenario will play to a certain number of points. Although that's not always the case. For example, in this scenario, these 2 shield generators need to be blown up for the Imperials to win, while the Rebels simply need to take out 5 points of units of the Imperials. There's a lot of other things in the game. There's terrain. Terrain will affect things like you roll 1 less dice against these units in the trenches. These hills, the AT-ATs can't move on top of them. You can give certain units tokens based on the scenario that will give them special abilities. Like these guys, if they don't move, they can re-roll dice. And there's all sorts of different activities. And they'll be mentioned either in the rules for the scenario. They'll tell you with some sudden, special scenario things here. And you also need to keep an eye on both the units and what the terrain does. But this is not that complicated. It's pretty easy. Once you start playing, you're going to have a lot of fun trying to figure out how to move different things. And you've, like I said, special cards. Order 2 units of your choice. Retreats rolled are considered the blasts. They can take anything out. Or order 1 of your choice, then order that unit again. They can move twice. Order 3 units of the same types. They can go an extra hex. And you have the cards for the rebels, which are going to be, some of them are the same, moving units on different action sides. Here I can move everybody on the left, but they also have specific things for them, like an artillery unit can act twice and roll an extra die. Anyway, that's basically how you play. All right, first let's talk about components. This is a game that was designed with a lower price point in mind. And you can tell that the whole thing is a little shrunk down.
It is.
From the original game, Memoir 44. And I promise, folks, I'm not going to keep talking about that all the time. I'll have a little bit of, at the end, where I compare the two. But it's in a reasonably thin box here. And for that end, they don't have a ton of pieces. There's 3 unit types for each side.
Yep.
And my only complaint here really about the pieces is I think the Imperials should have been white.
Yes.
AT-ATs were big giant gray machines. Here
Right.
they're dark. And it seems a little odd that they're the opposite colors. I guess we're used to the good guy white, bad guy black motif.
Yeah.
Here, and the Imperial symbols themselves are that way.
Right.
So I get that. This is a very minor complaint. I guess you can always paint your stuff. So
Yeah, I can see. I love the components. Of course, the AT-ATs, they don't show up till like the 3rd or something. When you will find people who just want to jump to that every time.
honestly, that is all I am ever going to want to do with this.
I agree.
There's several scenarios with AT-ATs and the probe droids and the snow speeders and the turret guns. There are some scenarios with just troops, and they're fine. I'm just not as interested in them.
I agree. That's just, and the AT-ATs are force.
And they're really fun. They're fun on both sides. If you play the Imperial player, you are sitting here like, try to stop this thing. And as the Rebel player, if you take one out, it feels amazing.
It feels so. You feel like that lone guy who just did it, and you get the high five from everybody else.
Yeah, the game is so simple and easy to play. You only have, like I said, 3 units. You remember, troops can move 1 or 2,
Right.
And if they move 1, they can shoot, and it's 3, 2, 1. And the AT-AT, it's 3, 3, 3, and so on and so forth. It works really well, and the sides are very asymmetrical. Not only with their deck, but picking the leader is fun. Which 3 cards am I going to stick in for the leader?
Right.
And the snow speeders are fast and maneuverable, way easier to kill than the AT-AT. The AT-AT is just like, I am coming for you, Margaret, and take it out.
I will say I didn't see that coming with snow speeders going out. I'm like, all right, and then they can get destroyed pretty quick. You're like, whew, well, that was fun. But now, as far as leaders, I think the leaders add tweaks. They don't really change any side. They're very small adjustments, I think. But I do like the fact that they're in
No,
there.
and you don't have to play them, but I always will.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
if you're not sure, pick Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, right?
Right.
And I'm sure that there's people who play a lot will say, well, for this scenario, you want to use Han Solo and General Veers because they work. But there's a lot of scenarios here. In fact, I didn't show it in the overview, but you can flip the board over. In one of the scenarios, if you have 2 copies, you can play a mega game. And I'm sure more mega game content will be released. People can make their own scenarios online. Now, negatively, if there is negatives, it is the Battle of Hoth over and over and over again.
Right.
If that battle doesn't interest you, well, there's not Endor and Tatooine in the box. It's
Yet.
the Battle of Hoth. No,
Yes.
not yet. This is what they have.
Right.
But I don't mind that because, again, that's how the other games have always been. There's always been, Memoir 44, these troop games, you're fighting back and forth with the same units. It's fast. It plays very quickly. It does say 2 to 4 players on it.
It's a 2-player game.
It's a 2-player game.
Yeah, 4 works, but it's a 2-player
You're
game.
just kind of splitting up
Right, you're sharing cards.
who does what. That's
Yeah.
not that interesting
No.
to me. But I like a lot. So I said I'm talking about Memoir 44, a few things in that regard.
Before you give that, I think one of the negatives, I guess it lies in a Memoir 44. I think it's quick. That's the whole thing. But the luck is still there.
That's not a negative for me. That doesn't bother me.
It gets me, I guess, because sometimes, if you're against the AT-ATs, sometimes you have to be lucky, those AT-ATs.
But it feels good because you don't need to kill the AT-ATs to win.
And it's very thematic, by the way, because those things did just wail on everybody.
Oh, you remember them taking out 3 of them in the movie, right?
Yeah, but it felt really bad because they're behind a hill, and it's like, come on, man.
This is smaller than Memoir 44.
Yeah.
So there's that. But the units are much more diverse. Probe droids are interesting because if you take out a probe droid, you don't get a shield, a medal for it. It's like, come on, man, let's kill this thing. They're very diverse sides. Each side has their own deck, which I like. It's very specific to that person, and you can modify the decks with leaders. And I am excited that this product exists because I'm mostly upset it didn't exist in '84.
Agreed.
When I was a 10-year-old, because I would have loved to play this. I would have played this every day for years straight. As it is, though, I can still play it.
Right.
This is a very, very fun recreation of Star Wars on a very simple level. This to me gives me the same feeling when I first played X-Wing.
Yes.
And was flying the X-Wings around and shooting, and I'm like, oh, that's great. I wish there was a land version of this. And there are complex land versions. This one is really easy. You can set this up. I can teach it in a few minutes. The games don't take long. 30-minute games, but they are a blast and lots of yelling and cheering.
That's the biggest thing for me. It's like easy to teach, easy to learn. It hits a table quickly, and it is 30 minutes. It's not a lie either. But it's also one of those that I like this reskin over Memoir 44. I played that a lot. But this one just feels like I could pull more people into this because the theming of Memoir 44, some people don't get into it. This one,
they don't want to play a real war.
Exactly.
This one is just fake nonsense.
Exactly. And I think it makes it sound so much more epic. And it's easier to switch sides, than it was Memoir 44. It's like, because both sides just, whatever you want to do.
Not sure being Vader is great, but I always like being him.
He has a father thing going on.
What would you give it?
Here's the thing. I like this game a lot. I'm coming in at an 8 on this, and which might seem low because I like it that much, but I see this as a starting point. I think later I can see it going higher because I do think they're going to have other things come out with it. I think it's limited. Like you mentioned, it is just one kind of area of the Star Wars universe, but I can see them expanding on this, and I'm going to keep my eyes on it because I do enjoy this game a lot.
Don't care about any of that. This is a 9. This is what I've always wanted. This is, when people ask what kind of game theme you want, it's always kind of like, what do I want? And as soon as I heard them announce this, I was like, well, that is what I've always wanted. There was old games about the Battle of Hoth with chits.
Yeah.
And now I have the minis, and now I play, and it's quick, it's fast, and it's fun, and I can play it with kids, I can play it with adults, and I'm hoping it's the beginning of more, but we don't know that yet. We'll have to wait and see. But as itself, still giving it a 9. I like it a lot. So that's Star Wars Battle of Hoth. Richard Borg and Adrian Martineau did a great job putting this one together. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joy Evans.
We'll see you on the Force side.
The dark side.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.